Alrighty, it's the final game before the lunch break on day one of the Scrabble Players Championship here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I am live. Josh Sokol here with Matt Canik, and we have a champion, another champion on board one.
Indeed, Michael Fagen won this event in 2022. I think it was one of the most unlikely finishes, as Michael at that time was rated in the low 1800s. Kind of came out of nowhere, surprised everybody, but he's shown he can certainly put it together and win an event of this magnitude. He's got a tough task in his opponent, Lisa Odom. Josh gave her a strong introduction last round, but an extremely strong player as well. ILMNPSU, the opening rack for Michael Fagen. No bingos, no reasonable five-letter words here as well. Is this lump, plum, or something else, Josh?
Yeah, I'm assuming Michael's going to go with something like or lump here. I think, yeah, linum, the only five-letter word that makes any sense, is a slightly higher score, but I think you keep the INS combination together and you'll be really happy. I'm a little bit concerned if I play that LINS will not materialize into a bingo. And when you have racks like LINS that don't materialize into a bingo, you're probably not doing super great. So I'd take the 2 extra points here, play lump or plum.
Wow, look at this opening rack for Lisa. Could not have drawn it up any better if he wanted to.
Wow. Yeah, that is incredible. There's probably over going to be like 500 options for her next turn or something. With a rack like that, that's just totally insane. And yeah, Michael just, he's going to look through his options, make sure he's not missing something. He might be thinking, oh, is pylum a word, for example? Is there maybe some 7-letter word here? But I think lump makes the most sense. That's what he's had set up on his rack for the last half a minute. We'll see if he decides on this. But regardless of what he does, Lisa is going to bingo with something good.
Yeah, definitely. Michael shifting back and forwards between plum and lump. In a vacuum, plum definitely makes less sense as it takes the E back hook, but lump does give back double-double opportunities. If my opponent has a double-double with an S in the fourth spot, I'd be shocked. Yeah, Christe at least for Lisa. So coaster, Christe. Lump is actually going to get hit back harder for Michael, even though it's probably the stronger play in a vacuum.
Yeah, wow, he's interesting. Shifting to plum. There's so many hooks. Plume, plumey, plum, plump. But lump has clump and I mean, it's very interesting. This is a little bit more restrained instead of lump. So, okay. 16 points for plum and no double-double available. Very interesting. Seems like a sort of a eyes in the back of your head type of move by Michael Fagen.
Yeah, who knows what the rationale was, but it is going to work out for him here. We cannot get a double-double now from Lisa, and we saw a position sort of like this with Nigel Peltier in round one. I've got a bunch of strong bingo options. Which one is the strongest? How much stronger is it? How much time can I afford to budget? Lisa has one bingo that scores 5 more than anything else, and she's already found it, not even 30 seconds into her turn. Uncrates is the best she can do.
And this is such a good example of how top players are able to find their candidate moves so much quicker than everybody else. You look at that U and you're like, well, if I have something from that U, what would it be? Maybe making the blank an N for un. You find your prefix and then it comes to you so quickly. This is fantastic. By Lisa not spending so much time on a rack like this, knowing that the only thing that could possibly be better than uncrates is an 11-letter word through plum. I mean, this word's like cocoa plum, plumeria, but yeah, uncrates is the best option. It's definitely dangerous. It leaves a lot of space open on the board, but like you said, scores so much more than everything else.
Yeah, so here it comes. Uncrates. Again, Lisa showing the same hesitation we saw from Nigel. I don't want to put the S all the way at the bottom of the board, but I've got to. Well done from Lisa. A turn that could take, 4 or 5 minutes off of your clock to get correctly, and she's done it well, gotten it correct, and done it in under 2 minutes. Michael to respond on INOOSTU.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Synergistic, no bingos here.
Matt, this is crazy. If Lisa hadn't spotted this move, Michael's just gonna play solution through the L. I'm sure he was really hoping she would use one of those many hooks of plum for play elsewhere, but solution gets blocked, and now suddenly Michael Fagen with awful options.
He does have 28 double available through the R in Uncrates and Nitrous, but it holds just an O out of a rack that's otherwise actually pretty synergistic. This is a hard turn for Michael. There's a case to be made for playing off just his U or just an O, maybe two O's, maybe an O and a U, or just score 28 right now. Tricky turn.
Yeah, we'll see. Nitrous would get completely demolished by an X bomb on either side. But maybe this is a situation where, okay, well, I don't have an E, I don't have anything prime other than my S, so I might as well just take as many points as possible. I guess we could potentially see something like Upo for 5. INOST is such a strong leave. I don't know if Michael's gonna take points here. I feel like he's gonna want a bingo and bingo soon.
Upo opens the board up in a lot of ways. You keep all the floaters RATES available. You keep the back hook on Plum available. You keep yourself in range with INOST, having RATES floating to you. That feels great, but it only scores 5. So maybe something like Ono, O-N-O, through that blank N, if he spots it, scores just a little bit better, keeps a U back, but the U synergizes pretty well with NIST in my eyes, Josh.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting counter option. And in positions like this, the ideal is get rid of the OU and score points. But maybe you have to hedge a little bit. Maybe you have to say, okay, well, if I play my O instead of my U, can I score a bit more? Oh no, scoring 12, Upo only 5. Yeah, SUINT is definitely not a leave you want to keep, but on a board like this, it's as strong as it'll ever be. But it looks like Michael thinking about playing the O and the U. Upo.
Probably Upo.
Yeah, there's nowhere else really where that goes. SOU would make sense to block the best lane on the board. OUR is crazy. So I think, yeah, that's what he wants to do. We'll see if he pivots away from it. It's very important not to play Nitrous here. I don't know if it's the best play, but it will get, like I said, totally hammered.
Nitrous also just sims very poorly, even without inferring an X on Lisa's rack. So not a strong play, according to computers, is Nitrous, even though it's 28 points. And I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah, for those that are newer to Scrabble, points aren't everything. Often your high scoring play is a very good play. In this particular instance, is a good play, but because of the position of the board and the tiles left behind, playing for only 5 is a much better option according to the engine and according to both of us in the booth here.
Yeah, you're playing the short term versus the long term in Scrabble. Short term is how many points do I get this turn? But that's only half the equation. The long term, how many points do I set myself up for next turn and even down the road? You've got to have a short term and a long term plan in the game. And this, some good long term planning for Michael.
Yeah, but speaking of long-term planning, taking such a long time on the first 2 moves is not great in the long term. It's a very awful thing to have your bingo blocked, and it really, it's such a blow. But yeah, you got to make a decision. You have the rest of the game to play. It's really tough. It's really tough for Fagen. He needs to make a move soon, though.
Yeah, we'll see how much more time he spends. These moves are very, very hard, and it feels terrible. Like I can't be playing for 5. That's got to be fake. There's got to be something better, and yet that's all he finds. And here it comes, 18:10 on the clock through 2 moves. Upo for 5. Michael, a strong shot to convert on the bingo, but there are some nightmare draws he could pull.
Yeah, very likely. I think it was mostly, like, am I missing something? The confidence level, dude. Am I sure there's nothing else? Even I saw solution, it got blocked. And there's a W that is not great, and an N. Is that one of the disaster draws for Michael Fagen?
Indeed, no 7s, no 8s in
Oh my
INNOSTW. Michael was 69% to bingo after Upo. The 31% just hit for him. Now, Lisa on turn, BIILRTX. She's already lined up ticks. Is this something you play quickly, Josh?
Yeah, you got that XU spot. I think Lisa was thinking of playing ticks to the right of the ATE of Uncrates just to eliminate some space off of the board, but now you have an even better spot, scoring more points. But I guess the issue is that you're not blocking as much, so I don't think it's an insta play. But I think I would make it within a couple of minutes max. And you have the time advantage. That is another thing you can use when you're up early. Just keep the time pressure going, keep the scoring pressure going. And it's really important. I guess after the play of Upo, you really want to block as much as possible. So maybe something like LIRI to block the RITES as best as you can is a sensible idea, but the board I think is just too open.
I wonder if you really want to obstruct the S in uncrates, which is the biggest threat. XI is not insane. You hold BILRT, but with the B to play plumb next turn, maybe that made some sense. Though Lisa's going to be relieved. If Michael drew a bingo, he'd play it probably within 30 seconds, and Michael missed after his 5-point fish.
Yeah, that is crazy, and I don't know how long he's gonna take on this turn, but this is such a disaster for him, and it's another situation where you just sort of can't believe. You can't believe that you have nothing, but you have to do something if you're Michael, and I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit worried about his time. I'm a little bit worried about his psychology in this game. It's such a bad position to be in.
Yeah, this is not ideal for him at all. He's set up NONI, which would be crazy. Okay, yeah, switching now to WON. This probably playing with a pawn, UPON. I'd shift this if I were Michael to OWN instead. Set up town, set up zone, open up the left side of the board a little bit more, and keep the floaters ATES available.
I think he's
Is
just
this
taking the
one?
double. Yeah, he's just
Oh,
taking
just
the double with one.
okay.
It's one more point, I think. But yeah, you're right. Maybe playing own instead to set up more hooks would have been a good idea to keep this board wide open. Not much in it. We'll see what Lisa does with ABIFLRR. So the first thing I want to do, if I can, is play to the E of uncrates with maybe a 6-letter word and just block the board.
Yeah, friable is easily the best play here for Lisa. FRIABLE. 36 points, blocks the TES almost completely, scores super well. So will Lisa find friable? That is definitely her strongest play.
And that's such a tough one. Is it fireable? Is it friable? Fireable is a word, but only with 2 E's. So playing fireable might be a fireable offense if Michael Fagen ends up challenging that. We'll see if she lines it up, but I don't think she spotted it. It's kind of tough to see, but you do have the ABLE suffix to work with. But yeah, definitely the best play. It does open a triple, but it blocks the E, blocks the S, scores way better than anything else. She's seen barfly. She almost has barflies in both spots. Barfy is a nice play. BARFI. You could play that to the left of the ON of 1. But yeah, friable is definitely the thing to do here.
All right, and the block would be a huge decision. Michael has tennists, TENNISTS. Should Robin block those floaters? That'd be a huge swing. She's looking at Phyla, FILI, which blocks everything. There's also the nice block of Barf or Barfi down from the ON in 1. But whichever one of these Lisa chooses, Barf is not a complete block, and this will cede the bingo to Michael.
Yeah, I don't know where she was thinking of playing. Lisa was thinking of playing FILA.
Alongside the ATES. Oh no, that make LE.
Yeah, so I
Oh,
think maybe she noticed that, but yeah, this is not going to block tennis, and this is going to come down instantly. Exactly what Michael Fagan needed to stay in this game. He spotted it. It finally wasn't blocked. And there we go. Back in the game. We'll see what Lisa draws here to LIR. It could go very well. It could go very poorly. See what Michael draws. He's still going to be down after this play. 108 to 133. 25 points between the two players. Back to Lisa. That's a J. That's pretty good. You're going to be able to score with that. Okay. So that's a good draw, I would say. JEE fits in a variety of spots. jefe through the F of barf. Something like G's, Jees to the first S in tennis also, or jete through the T. What are you thinking, Matt?
Jee and plume looks pretty strong. Maybe you play Jeer instead to avoid seating the Aji front hook with 7 unseen A's. But G and plume or Jeer and plume is where my eye goes. I would spend more time than Lisa's doing thinking between those. EILR is a much stronger leave, but that Aji front hook is pretty big to seed.
I don't know if I agree with that, but yeah, that's a great spot. Just the E hook on Plum has been there the whole time, but she's
Oh,
not thinking. Oh, she's not thinking about it. She's playing Jefe instead.
ooh.
Maybe she doesn't want to set up the A hook, but I feel like on this board, so many openings just go for the throat. But this is a big point sacrifice. 35 for Plume and G, and setting up a potential underlap, but at least this gets closer to blocking that S that was opened on turn 1 with a lead. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think she just whiffed the plume spot. I think that's what this is. Maybe not tactical. That's a 7-point swing between Hefe and G and plume. We'll see what Michael does now here. An awkward rack, CGOOU.
I thought for a second he was going to see and try and play duo logic, which makes a lot of sense as a potential word, but that is not valid. We'll see if he considers that. But yeah, OD, GOD, COD, those are the plays you see in this spot.
These each play beneath Hefe. There is another option I'll call out that does something completely different. It is Colugos. Down to the S in tennis, COLUGOS, 26 points. Get rid of all of this dreck at once, Josh. Do you like that?
It's interesting. I think I probably prefer this in the position we're in now. If Michael just scores twice in a row and Lisa has some awkward tiles, he can just come back into the game. But he could also bingo here. And after Kalugos, you're blocking a lot of the space on the board. But yeah, it's a very interesting idea.
All right, well, this is what Michael's chosen. This play feels very strong, but Lisa does have a bingo available to her on this turn. So now a test for Lisa. Will she spot 76 available to her?
Oh, she's so close to spawning. Just move the R and the H, and you'll see regolith to the T. That is such a tough find. It's a word she knows for sure. It's a word I'm sure she's played. But she has such a nice option of just air. She's got it lined up now under the STS. Feels like you can't get much better than that unless you have a bingo. So maybe she's going to think, okay, do I have something better? Can I play Hoer or air? Do I have a bingo? Just trust yourself in this position and you might miss it.
These are the exact circumstances by which a player would miss a play. You see something really good. Oh, a juicy spot, and I've got the H for it, and I've got 2 words, and then your brain jumps straight to air versus Hoer, and you forget to do the thing where you look for a bingo. That's what's going to happen here.
Indeed. So air coming down, keeping GOL. This is a miss. But honestly, 46 points is a lot. It's definitely worse than the bingo, but Lisa's still in a fantastic position.
Indeed, she is. So HEIR makes the game 207 to 139. ACFLOOU now the rack for Michael. He's already found a strong play in a foul, making UT and LI over to the left side of Tix. This is 20 points and unclogs a really messy rack. You like it, Josh?
Yeah, it's a decent play. And Michael's so fast at finding these candidate moves. And he needs to take less time in his next few moves because he did take such a long time the first few. So it's good to see him firing on all cylinders.
He's getting a lot of that time back that he spent on his first 2 moves of this game. Remember, we saw Michael spend nearly 7 minutes on Plum and then Upo to start this game, but now playing pretty quickly is Michael. He's got 14-18 on the clock to play the second half of this game. A foul for 20, what he opts for here. Michael trails now by 48. Lisa looking to add to her lead on ADEGLOW. And I think this one's going to be a pretty quick turn, Josh.
Yeah, it's super nice to just play the O and the W in the bottom left of the board, keeping GLADE, which is not the strongest, but not the worst set of 5 tiles. And it's such a big score, 37 points. Unless you have a bingo, you're not doing any better than that. And there we go.
Yeah, keeping GLADE with that plume hook sitting out in space, just draw the bingo next turn, bingo in that line, completely game over. I see lines to just like an instant victory right now if I'm Lisa. This is great. Just got to convert my plan, draw the bingo, and hope Michael doesn't bingo there. Michael won't be bingoing, but
He's
he's got
so
50.
close. But he's so close to Zoologic. Oh my goodness.
Needs the
Oh,
O.
but look at that draw. R blank, another R blank draw for Lisa Odom this time. We saw Mac draw that against Mike Thalen. So this is huge for her. But yeah, 50 points for Zig looks fantastic here.
Yeah, Zig alongside a Fell. I think that's basically it. If Michael wants to go maximum volatility and he sees it, Zocalo, Zocalo through the A and a foul is 38 and forks the board into two separate bingo lines. But Zig just feels too strong, I think, Josh.
Yeah, I think you just do it. Cool is really not a terrible leave, especially there's only one O unseen from Michael's perspective. We obviously hate keeping duplicated tiles. It reduces our options for next turn. But when there's only one O left, you're probably not going to draw the third one. And COOL is actually pretty fine. You can draw into a lot of 7 or 8 letter words with those tiles, or just an easy way to dump some tiles and try to get a bingo soon, which Michael needs. Even if he gets to 50, most likely he's still going to need to bingo, especially knowing that Lisa has what she has. But even without it, he'd still be down quite a bunch of points. So Zig coming down, and there's still the possibility, Matt, of playing through the Za later and forking the board.
Yeah, something like LAZAR or LAZARET, even, or a play like IZARD, all kinds of stuff Michael could threaten in the future. So it's not slamming this board completely shut. Now, slamming the door shut and bingoing is what Lisa is looking to do here. The big question is, will she now spot the PLUME hook that she's overlooked once this game already?
We'll see. Yeah, it's very important. I think she'll at least spot gladers and plums, which looks pretty good. Maybe just
Lighters is not a
sacrificing.
word.
What?
No,
Well,
yeah, there's no 7 with an S.
well, good thing I'm not playing this tournament, Matt. Wow. So just Gladier is available. So yeah, you have to make Plume here if you want to find the best play. Oh my goodness. Thanks for
So an
catching me there.
opportunity for a big swing in this game for sure. There is Garbled and Plum, PLUMB. So she doesn't have to spot PLUME and be confident of that word.
Yeah, no, she'll certainly bingo this turn. But yeah, we'll see. There's something like lagered as well through the ALAAGERED. But I think she's going to spot the plume hook now. Earlier with Jefe, we think she missed it. But now that you're looking for bingos, you're looking for open space. It's going to come to you.
We'll see. Or you could play Gladers and Plums and lose a turn.
Or not lose a turn. Anything is possible. Yeah, it
You're
could
right.
be
You're
another
right.
double blindness situation. But wow, Glader, Glare, both not words. Looks like Lisa's spotted lagered through the A. Actually, I'm very surprised if she doesn't spot the plume hook this time.
If you miss it once, you're a lot more likely to miss it again the next time. I think she's focused on lagered now. That's a cool word, LAAGERED. But is it your best word, Lisa?
Yeah, but for Michael, his rack is not so good. He has ABCL, OOU, a little bit of alphabetical, but not a lot of good. So it looks like, wow, Lager, this is definitely a little bit of a miss. Is she going to move this over 1? Even if she does that, the double-double that she's setting up is not so nice. And there we go.
Oh, now she's going to play Garbled? No, she's going to play
Spotted.
Gladder.
Yeah. She's maybe Gladier. Yeah. This blank could be a D or an I. Oh,
Oh,
careful. Yeah, there we go. 71 points here for Gladder or Gladiator. It doesn't make a huge difference, but this is a huge blow either way to Michael Fagen, who's going to have to work really hard to stay in this one now.
yeah, what do you do if you're Michael? You're now trailing by 106. You've seen your opponent draw both of the blanks already. You've seen most of the lines on the board evaporate. So I would be looking at the ZA on this board, trying to find any way to open up through there. Those plays aren't available. If you see and know the word blush, ABLUSH, that into the SH at the bottom of the board looks strong here, Josh.
Wow, what a weird play. It does open a little bit, but it doesn't open a great lane and takes away the R of uncrate. So I'm actually not a huge fan of that, but I'm not a huge fan of anything here. I wonder what direction Michael Fagan's going to go in, but you really want to keep things open. You have the top left. You have the go or ego hook that you made with Zig last turn. You again have the possibility of potentially playing through the Za at some point. Playing through the Za. You might even get a 9-letter word to the TE. A blush is a crazy one, though. Looks like he's looking at Guaco, which is a great idea, actually, from the G in Gladiator, which we now, I think, have confirmed. That blank is an I. And this is great. Michael wants to draw that last S. He's in really bad shape, but unfortunately, Lisa has it. He's going to hammer that spot whenever she wants to.
Well, she doesn't have to do it now. She's got Dickiest, Dickiest, available through the C in Guaco if she's sure of that word, 66. She's also got Skited and Guaco's for 57 as a non-bingo here. So big punish coming from Lisa after a good idea from Michael.
Yeah, I mean, she's spotting Dickiest immediately, and she probably knows it's a word, but is it better than playing Skited? It opens a triple. She's up 90 points. I actually think Skited is the play here, Matt.
Look at the unseen pool. I definitely see some damage that could be done in there. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe just play Skited. It's harder to lose the game after Skited. Yeah. Or she sees Disc. Also a good idea. Skited just a bit stronger.
Yeah, so this is looking really bad for Michael Fagan. I also did want to mention they have played each other 4 times. This is their rubber match, 5th game ever. They are 2-2 lifetime. It looks like Lisa's going to get the upper hand here.
Indeed, it does. But you still got to finish the game out, baby. That's why we play Scrabble. There is a Q and 2 Vs unseen. No U's to eject that Q. It could just be trouble. So I'm not ready to call this one over just quite yet, especially as Lisa has floated a D in a triple line.
Definitely still ways back in the game for Michael Fagan. Still some space to open, some tiles to draw. See how the 2022 champion deals with this awful situation. He's so good at creating opportunities for himself. Guaco is a great way to do that. It just did not work. So it looks like he's going to go right ahead, block the D of disc. You don't want to do that, but booty, so many points. 50?
50 indeed. So Michael just going to play this, open a different triple. It does block the D, but it does all the other things you need to do. Lisa drawing retina and an I. I think most players know this rack makes inertia. That doesn't play. 8s don't play on this turn, but Lisa does have a 9-letter bingo available to her.
Oh my goodness. Is she going to spot this ridiculous 9-letter word? I was talking about it earlier, Matt. It materialized. The TE on the bottom right of the board allows for some potential 9s. And Lisa does have one. If you can spot it, let us know in the chat. But yeah, nowhere for inertia. Is she just going to fish? What do you do here if you don't find the 9?
I mean, there is the play of IZAR, which generally seems crazy as it takes a front S, but once you realize no S is unseen, just IZAR and points feels fine if you don't spot the 9-letter bingo. It has been spotted by Scrabble in the chat. Itinerate to the TE.
Yeah, is it itinerate?
Whatever it is.
Yeah,
That's
itinerate.
what it
It's
is.
a verb. So that would be incredible. But yeah, nowhere for inertia on this board. We'll see what Lisa does. She's been flipping some tiles over. I wonder what she's thinking. She's up almost 100 points. It's very hard to lose, no matter what, when you're up 100. But I think in the position here, if you don't see the 9, you probably just want to take points. And yeah, like you said, Izar is okay. I would like to eliminate that triple to the right of booty, so I might play um, something low scoring there, 5-letter play or something. But yeah, a lot of options here. We'll see what she ends up doing.
I think I want to play fewer tiles here. QVV seems like trouble. I want it to be Michael's trouble. So playing short, ideal. If I am taking away the triple word on the right, I'm probably just playing AIR or AIN and keeping a bunch of stuff back. But we'll see what Lisa opts to do here. You can do a lot and make it make sense.
Yeah, she really wants to just play that I and go for the killer blow, which makes a lot of sense. It does give back a little bit of winning chances. But so early in the tournament, like we said, trying to win by as much as possible is very important. And it looks like Michael very quickly going to respond with envy. Maybe he is envious of Lisa's possible rack with the play of IT. And it looks like she's drawn back into Retina plus A now. Will she have playable bingo now?
No, she will not. This is what you're worried about after a one tile play for 6. There are some tiles that miss, and this is one of them. So now what will Lisa do? Will she double down and fish the A? That could be a recipe for an absolute disaster for her if she keeps fishing and missing bingos. She's likely going to draw one, but not 100%. I love one option of BONACI, making a pawn. Score some points if you can. There's also a little bit more straightforward AZAN, AZAN, but that takes a front H with an H unseen, would actually give back Hernial to Michael for 100 points. If Lisa plays AZAN here and loses the game, that would be crazy.
Instead, it looks like she
What is she?
is wanting to play
Alpha?
AA, Ash, and 8 just to score a little bit more and actually block. So the lane next to the YE on the top right of the board, if you start there, you can only go one spot from that TE in tennis. So if you play there, AA, you are going to be blocking a lot of 7-letter words, but you're also going to be giving back a big scoring spot for Michael Fagen. He has Hernial and Inhaler, like you said on his rack. Right now, I don't think there's anywhere to play either of those, but he's getting very close to making a very improbable comeback as Lisa struggles to score points.
The worst thing you can do with the bingo lead is fish for 6 and then not draw bingo the next turn. This is the nightmare situation, but she is wisely not opening the board. Azan feels strong, but would get hammered back. She's dodging a bullet here with her play of A.
Yeah, so now if you're Michael, do you play Azan and set up the H yourself? Do you play Hazan? Do you just drop the H with hash? There are so many interesting options. Michael should take a little bit of time to try and sort through his potential plays here. I wonder what he's going to do.
Do you need to bingo to win this game now? If you're Michael, you see the Q unseen. Is it that much trouble? I'm seeing nothing good to do, even with the Q and an I.
Wow, crazy stuff. But unfortunately for Michael, if Lisa spots anti-mirror from the A and Guacos, I just can't see Michael blocking that spot. He's looking at Lair, Lehr, which might be his highest scoring play, making hash and rate. And like you said, there's some trouble lurking. The Q could be unplayable. I think you still need to try and bingo if you're Michael Fagen.
Yeah, man, the play of Azan feels so good here, setting up Hazan, and then you just draw the right stuff. You don't like getting rid of that A. There's only one more to come and a lot of E's, but setting up a line to bingo for 100, in this game state, that's what you have to do.
Yeah, you're only down 78 now. Suddenly you just need a bingo to tie the game up. So definitely a big disadvantage still for Michael Fagen. He wants to do something strong. He wants to score some points here, but what if he spots it? Azan would be so tremendous. He loves making that sort of play late in the game, taking advantage of the knowledge that his opponent cannot have a hook that he sets up. See what he does.
Lisa, on her end, has not given us any indication that she's seen
Oh.
anti-mirror yet. Okay, I just spoke it into existence.
Just got to give her a minute there. Yeah. So anti-mirror would just end the game for sure, unless Michael Fagen plays Hazan and then draws into a triple triple.
Oh, that would be hype.
Oh no, that would give back Theremin.
Oh!
Yeah, do not play Hazan.
Hazan makes a lot of sense here for Michael. You fork the board, you create the triple triple line and the spot on top. And if Lisa ends up with the Q on the rack, she might not be able to block either one, but that would get punished super hard by Theremin. All right, Michael playing EH, seeing 5 unseen E's. He's opting to keep his A and his I instead. Makes sense. And now Lisa likely going to drop anti-mirror into game over.
Yeah, you might think that blocked it, but it didn't. This still just fits, and this is game over despite the draw of Praline or Planer for Michael Fagen, which I don't think will go down either. Man, so many unplayable bingos for him this game. But yeah, that'll do it. Wow, what a crazy game.
Yeah, crazy up and down. Now the only intrigue remaining is, will Lisa draw the Q? And if she draws it, can she play it?
Yeah, I wonder where the Q goes. So Michael Fagen probably going to be able to get some something going in the rest of this game. There's one tile left. If Lisa can't play the Q, Michael's going to be able to make multiple plays at the end of the game and just narrow the gap. Let's see. She could. There's a chance she leaves it in the bag, Matt. And we haven't seen it yet.
Oh my goodness. Is this the D or the Q?
Oh!
Okay.
That is insane. You've got to be kidding me. The last tile in the bag is the Q. And if you're Michael, you're in such a I don't want to say a bad word. You're in such a terrible position, but the one thing you can count on is the opponent getting stuck with the Q. So QAID playable to the D in Gladiator. With the unseen letters, is Michael going to try and block that, or is he going to try and bingo out? He could set up a spot for a bingo, and if he's threatening a bingo, Lisa would have to block that, and then he could also still stick her with the Q. This is all theoretical stuff, so Michael's probably going to take most of the rest of his time to think about this and then get the awful, awful news with the last tile in the bag.
Yeah, it just makes a little bit too much sense for Michael to fish his P here. Play Zap. If Lisa does have the Q, she might just rush and play QAID. And if I draw one of those E's, I can bingo out with a leaner and a go on the left side of this board. So like that just feels fine. I think that's the play that I end up making. But yeah, Michael's just going to get a gut punch. What do you mean the Q is the last tile in the bag? And I draw that. Insult to injury for Michael here.
Man, yeah, those heavy tiles, they stick to the bottom of the bag. That's what they say.
Indeed, we've seen it on full display here, as it looks like Lisa Odom is going to propel herself to 3-1 on day one of the 5-day Scrabble Players Championship. As Josh mentioned, we are cutting to break after this game. We'll be back from that lunch break, and by we, I mean all of you at home and Josh Sokol, but not me. You're going to be in the capable hands of Kenji Matsumoto for the afternoon session. And that, I think, is going to be some incredible commentary. Kenji's one of the greatest minds in Scrabble out there, and I'm very excited that everybody at home gets a chance to hear some of his insights.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Definitely a very, very strong player in the booth always strong players. You yourself, Matt, very, very strong as Zap comes down, but Kenji Matsumoto with the analysis is going to be great. He's going to give me a break on the analysis. And we're going to
Yeah.
get that.
Sorry, I watched Michael draw the cue.
Yeah, we're going to get that reaction cam, I was going to say. Oy, awful.
You hate to see it, but
I hate to see it. You're laughing. We're going to get the annotation fixed there. Somebody mentioning that we put in the wrong play on the previous move. But yeah, we'll get that fixed. It's very, very much irrelevant at this point. But yeah, that is just an awful thing to see. Michael has actually played a couple of times on stream where the Q was the last tile in the bag. And yeah, hoping for that result and already planning it all out. I think there was the infamous game against Jackson Smiley at the Canadian Scrabble Classic where Jackson got the bad news and Michael won the game.
Yeah. All right. So Michael's drawn the Q, and now Lisa trying to go through Operation Q stick, maybe? Is that correct? And if you mess up a Q stick, you can cost yourself a ton of potential points. Now, Michael has QUIN through the U in Guaco's, QAID as well. Josh, can Lisa block both of those?
Yes, she can. If she just plays DA for 3 points, she'll be blocking QAID and QUIN both at the same time. And that might be her best option. You could play more tiles, but oftentimes when you're trying to stick someone with the Q, you want to play one tile at a time. However, in this particular instance, because both players have 7 tiles, it might not, first of all, it might not even be worth fully sticking with the Q. You definitely want to block Quinn, such a high score, but it might be better for Lisa to just go out in 2 and suffer QAID for 14. It's an extremely complicated endgame, almost impossible to solve if you're a human being that isn't Nigel Richards. But we'll see what she ends up doing with 4 minutes remaining. Obviously, the result is foregone. Lisa up 106 points, but important to try and win by as much as possible here.
Best endgame seems to be VIA into the A of Gladiator for just 6 points now, but that also takes away all Q plays and sticks Michael with it. I think that might be what Nigel played when he solved like the greatest endgame of all time at World Cup last year too.
Yeah, I'm going to plug this into the strong engine because often the engine you're using gets it a little bit wrong in these complicated positions. And you might be saying, what do you mean the computer can't figure this out? Computers are not so good at Scrabble. Scrabble is an insanely complicated game. There are billions of sequences that it has to look through in a position like this one. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We will indeed. Just want to give credit where credit is due to the creators of our computer engines. Quackle, the one I'm using, has been the gold standard in Scrabble for about 20 years. So thanks to John O'Loughlin, Jason Katzbrown, and a whole bunch of other big brains behind that operation, making a solver and putting it out there for free. But Macondo, what you're using, Josh, newer, bigger, better. So huge shout out to Cesar del Solar for his work making that engine, making Scrabble better than ever as well.
So we'll see what my engine is halfway through the end game, but that means it's going to take another few minutes. By that time, the game might be over, but I'll run it for you guys. Right now, it's saying to play evil to the L, but it looks like Lisa just maybe hasn't seen Quinn and is just going to play Div and go out next turn with OI. And Michael probably spotted Quinn very, very quickly, and that's going to come down.
Yeah, Michael's gonna play that and get this game over with. And I don't know, it can be a little frustrating when you watch your opponent mess up an end game and also they're beating you by like 130 points. But hey, that happens sometimes, and not everybody gets everyone right. Here comes Quinn for Michael. It could have been more painful, but instead he's able to get 30 points.
You see him smiling there and getting the last laugh. So yeah, Lisa Odom, I'm going to go out with OI for 9, and that'll be curtains, and my endgame machine is not even close to finish, so you won't get that answer until maybe after lunch. Let's listen to the overhead mic to see what these players have to say about this.
89. Oh,
That's
so
what I have.
I'm off on my score, so we need to go over mine. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay.
Did I have, I think we did 207
Yes.
and 244
Yep.
and 315
Yep.
and 366
Yep.
and 372 and 380
Yep.
and
Bingo.
460
Yep.
480
Yep.
and then 9
Yeah. That's you.
and then 8. So
Yep.
I'll go 505.
And 389 for me.
Yeah. I could just play 80 right? Thank you.
And that one is like I just couldn't believe that he was in the bag. Almost any other channel was at least threatening a bingo, which I forced you to block.
And I wasn't really intentional to this you because I just thought, oh, I'll let you play the cue and I'll just make sure I come.
No, I mean that was probably okay anyway because I would have been able to play it. I was one you were winning no matter what, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
If you had missed playing, that would have made a huge difference.
I know. I just did that the other day, like at club. And then because we had this conversation about whether if you can say it's what you write. So even if I didn't correct it, if I could circle it right, it would have been okay. But
I was going to play solution through the L.
And
then I had to turn this bingo into a 5-point.
Well, then I do retina I, and that's when I play the I, and then I do retina A.
You do another A.
Yeah. And
so you played off 2 A's.
So I played off 2 A's because I figured this is my A
to
play through, and then I still RETIN still plays kind of if I get an RE word.
I mean I was going for that as well. I didn't try an E till like halfway through the game.
Yeah.
But
I was getting a little scared because you got your booty and then your envy and then another bingo.
Yeah, but because I just have to hope you draw the Q on the one tile pull. That's probably my best chance.
Yep.
So that's exactly what I got later in the game. I don't care if I get my bad luck out of the way now. I won't get it when it matters the most.
Yeah, I certainly got fortunate letters in this game. So 505, 389.
Yeah, so there was a 116. I feel like on my first track I kept eyeing this. I just feel like there might have been a bingo there. And that's why it took so long. I feel like I probably blew it before you even had your first turn. Let's see what I missed. Yeah, like I said, the confidence just wasn't there at the beginning of the game, Matt. I noticed if I get an E. Michael thinking he missed something on the first move. You hate to have that just lingering in your brain for the whole game, especially when it's all being broadcast on stream. But there we go, Lisa Odom getting a very big W against a previous champion of this tournament to end the morning session after 4 games. So, Matt, that means the end for our nice little joust for the morning session on day 1 of the Scrabble Players Championship. But we'll see you again, right?
Yeah. I will be back in the booth tomorrow, assuming I don't die in the mosh pit that I'm going to tonight. It just started dumping down rain, and I'm going to an outdoor huge concert with pit tickets. So I will be back wet and smelly, hopefully, tonight. Have a good time. But Kenji's going to bring you guys some great entertainment. And if I don't die, I'll see you again, bruised, battered, wet, in the booth tomorrow for day 2 of the Scrabble Players Championship. Josh, it's been a pleasure. As always, thanks very much for having me. For now, y'all can say bye to Soren, but you will get Colby and Soren again in the booth tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate you listening to me, and can't wait to hear what Josh and Kenji have to share with us tomorrow.
Yes, we will see you again in around an hour, 20 minutes, I believe, for rounds 5 through 7 of day 1. Scrabble Players Championship 2026. See you soon.
Bye.